Okay. So,
This has been a tough week. It's been a great week. It's been an emotional week. I probably worked harder than I have in the last year. So Friday, when I had my one-on-one with Danielle, we weighed in, and it had been 6 days since our first weigh-in, and I was down 5 pounds. And we did our weigh-in today. The scale is showing a little bit of a difference, so it's showing that I've only lost 2 pounds, and that's only 2 days later. But it happens. It goes up and down, you know. I have to cut myself a little bit of slack because I know that it's not just going to be loss. I'm finding I have a lot more energy. I'm getting up in the morning and I have a lot more energy to do things. Thursday, there was a little drama to deal with, and let me tell you, I drove past 3 McDonald's. Everything in my head said, stop and eat McDonald's. But I didn't. That was a little victory for me. The best part of this week, getting through the workouts that I did and just feeling like I could. And my first HIIT class kind of took me back to my first leg day. I thought, I can't do this. And then I just, like I said, I got myself in check. I modified where I had to. So yeah, I mean, that was the best part of the week, was just pushing through and the feeling that you get at the end of a class when you think this is really hard, but I killed it. When the video was released, I watched it and I bawled my face off, and I tore myself down like only we can do to ourselves. Worse than anybody else could ever do to us. How could you let yourself get like this? You look horrible. And I actually at one point thought about my partner and how could he love you? You know, how could anybody love you? And these are the things that we do to ourselves. And I never wanted to wind up like this. And I thought, I mean, how many times do you try, right? And how many times do you fail before you give up? You don't see all the things that everybody else sees. You don't see the good stuff. You see your size. You see your chins. you know, you see you battle with whether or not you're worth it. And nobody's ever told me that I'm not. But I have. And I mean, I'm not ready to give up. I'm still trying. I have myself to fight for. You know, at the end of the day, that's all we have to fight for. People can say that they have their families and their children, and that's all great, but that's not what's gonna get you through to the end. You know, it's me, it's my dreams, it's my hopes, it's the things that I want to do with my life. This isn't something that you can do for somebody else. You know, you can't do it because your husband or your wife wants a better body. You can't do it, you know, because somebody isn't as proud of you as you think they should be. You just can't. I've tried. You have to get to a point where it's about you and what you want to accomplish with your life. My one-on-one was awesome. Danielle is a fantastic trainer. She pushes, but she's understanding. And so when I came in Friday morning after a rough Thursday night, the first thing that we did was talked. and that helped. Listened, and then she said, let's go. She's tough too. There's no nonsense, right? When I was running, she was right alongside me. Walking lunges, she was lunging with me. Wall sits. But every time I sat, she said, if you're gonna sit, we're gonna do it against the wall. But no, it was a great one-on-one. It was really good. The biggest lesson that I learned this week was that I can do things that I didn't think that I could do. I can push myself harder. I don't have to stop at McDonald's when I'm having a bad day. I have control over, myself and the steering wheel. I'm working on burpees, and I'll do them. Somebody said something about burpees the other day, and I said, I haven't done one yet. And he said, that's really cool. And I said, what's really cool? I haven't done one. And he said, you didn't say you can't do them. And I was like, oh, I didn't. I said, I haven't done one yet. So I can do them. They're coming. Maybe one day on camera.
So beginning of last week when we weighed in, my weight was 273. Today weighing in, my weight is 267. It's Sunday. I'm very happy with 6 pounds. Who wouldn't be? I felt like I worked really, really hard this week, so I've earned those 6 pounds. It feels ridiculous to say that somehow in my head I expected double digits. Like, I think I thought that I was working very hard and my food was right on track, but when your food's on track and you're working really hard, you shouldn't be dropping double digits. I mean, your body still needs to do its thing, and it needs that food, and it needs everything that you put into it. It's not like weight's just flying off. It's still there. Yeah. I don't know, it just, I should be prouder, and maybe I'm just scared to be proud of it. I'm proud that I didn't die. I think more than anything else, it was a hard week. I got pushed very hard, and I pushed myself very hard. So I'm proud that I actually got through it. I'm proud that I signed up for a run at 5 o'clock in the freaking morning, and I did it. And I'm really proud of that, because that's not something that I do. I run. I'm 280 pounds. I don't run. That's a lot of weight to run on, but I did it, and I'm really proud of that. I lifted more weight this week than I think I ever have. This week it just kind of ramped it up quite a bit. It's I remember sweating like that before. I think the best part of this week was the pride that I felt getting through it. I think the hardest thing about this week was having everyone watching you. That was tough.
I just finished my Wednesday morning workout, if you will. Feeling very overwhelmed at this point. The video just went out yesterday, and there's so much beautiful feedback and really encouraging comments. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Being on camera is really hard. Having pictures taken of you is very hard. I think I've spent most of my life kind of hiding in the corner of pictures or running away from pictures and not letting anyone not let anyone see that I'm overweight. If I hide, if I'm funny enough, if I'm perfect enough, maybe you won't notice. And that's not possible anymore. Being on camera, being under everyone's watch, it's not letting me hide anymore. And that's really uncomfortable. But I can do it. I think. I'm not used to that. I'm used to kind of putting on a brave face and and not letting anyone know that I'm rattled or that I'm struggling, and not taking up space, not taking up attention. That's something that I've struggled with probably my entire life, is just trying to fit in, trying not to make waves. I have to learn to take up space. I have to learn to let people see me and let people see me struggle and be real. Today I will take up space and I will be real, and I probably will struggle, but I'll be okay. It's a big learning process. Thanks for listening.
My one-on-one this week was interesting. I've never really worked out with Danielle before, and so it was a different environment completely. It's a lot of like laser focus on one person, and that one person is you. Sometimes when you're in a group class and your trainer walks away, you can kind of drop on the ground and take a breath, but when someone's constantly watching you, you can't. So that was hard. To have that much focus on you in a group setting is pretty unnerving. I think the people who were lucky enough to work out next to me will think twice about it next time. Jenna in particular is like, I'm never working out next to you again. It's a lot, actually pushes you quite a bit more too. I think when I was just about ready to drop a weight or not do another rep, when you pull out a camera, you can't do that, so you just keep going, and that's probably where I push myself the most. To anyone out there that's watching, I would say that if I can do it, certainly anyone can. It's hard, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Your weigh-in last week was how much?
262.
262.
Yeah.
All right, let's step on, stay very still, and let's see.
After my first week, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling sore. I'm feeling hungry. I'm feeling tired, but more energy when I'm awake. So I slept through a workout. It was Brian's 6 a.m. class. I got this message. No exclamation marks, no happy faces. It was, where were you this morning? And I felt really like, oh shit, like I have to, whoops, I got to answer to Miguel. So I explained my situation. I fell asleep, I slept through it. Well, what are you doing right now? Get here. So off I go to the gym and got my ass handed to me and replaced the 6 a.m. workout that I slept through. So lesson learned. In spite of my injuries, one thing I've learned this week, lesson I've learned is that my body can do it. My body can do it with the right training, the right education, and trying. Like it's mind over matter for me. Like I'm scared of my injury. That is in my head. Like I can't go hard and I can't do this and I can't do that because I'll injure myself more. And so it's a lot of fear. But that workout that I came to, the impromptu workout, it taught me that I can do things as long as I have the right education and the support behind me. So I learned that I can do bicep curls with my right arm. I can still get my heart rate, what was it, 147? It was up there. Like I was sweating. It was dripping down my face. So that was a big eye-opener for me. Okay, so MyFitnessPal, you can track your calories. Everything that goes in my mouth goes into this. But if you look at MyFitnessPal, I'm not following a diet plan. I'm not following a meal plan. That's not really part of this thing I'm doing. I didn't get a meal plan from you guys. So, because I eat when I want to eat, that's part of my lifestyle. You can't give me a meal plan for the rest of my life. So, you look on it, I had a piece of chicken with a piece of bacon. I'm eating bacon. I had some ice cream, but it's portion control and it's discipline. So did I earn that ice cream? Did I earn that bacon? Am I going to work it off? What am I doing for the rest of the day? The scariest part was everyone knowing, everyone seeing my true vulnerability. Cry on camera, like I'm watching it, checking to see how many people have viewed it. Like I'm a numbers person, and I was like, 2,000 people, like 4,000 people. How many people are in Nanaimo? 80,000 people. I'm like, don't get those fries because the chick at the drive-thru is watching that video and she'll call you out. I drop off your coffee. There's a neighbor. I saw your video. Like, oh my God. But it's cool. It's motivating. It really is. I've never been through this ever in my life. So I'm happier. I'm a lot happier. I'm happier to get that off my chest, to get that secret out of the closet, to just throw that bag of bones out of my closet and just everybody knows. So it's like a relief to get that off my chest, and I'm happier. I've inspired other people. That's what's different. My level of happiness, my energy, like I said, I'm tired, but that's my own thing. I'm hypothyroid. I got all these issues, but when I'm here and when I'm doing stuff, I have more energy. I put more effort into it. So I find that's way different. During my one-on-ones, I felt really supported. I felt like I'm not a burden. Like it's okay. You have an injury, that's okay. We're gonna work it out, and we did. Like I had my one-on-one with Danny, and then when you pulled me in for my solo workout, you kept coming in and just motivating me and just and that is huge to have that support and that motivation. Another thing I've noticed is the change I've made is hangovers. So I like to go out and have a good time, and I did. Thursday night I went to a show in Victoria, so it's a night out with the girls, letting loose, but I didn't lose control. I had a good time. I drank the drinks, but I drank vodka waters. That's what I drink anyway, but I drank that, and after the bar, I didn't go. We went to 7-Eleven and we left with 0 food items. It was water, G2, ginger ale for the next day and for that night. So that was huge for me because I would have grabbed a bag of ketchup chips or some nachos with some greasy cheese. But the next day, hangover-wise, was huge. I just had chicken noodle soup. I didn't order pizza. I didn't go for, the greasy things. I just wanted some hot broth. I actually craved it. So that was huge for me because that's when I just lose control. And I spent 2 days doing that. So it's just like 0 exercise, all the calories, ginger ale, all the sugary pop, none of that. I had 1 ginger ale over 2 days. So, and it feels good. There's no way I would have been down 9 pounds if I went to McDonald's on the way home or whatever, I can do this. That's huge for me to get that in my head, is that it's not the end of the world. These injuries are not going to prevent me from doing this and being successful. Mentally wise, I think I've changed a little bit. Just taking those extra steps to treat myself like I have one body for the rest of my life. You got to take care of it. So yeah, that's huge for me. After that workout, what was it? It was 20 reps of each one, 10 times. So you do the math. And after I finished that, I was covered in sweat. I was breathing like I just ran a marathon, and there's hope. That's exactly what I learned that day, and it was like a sigh of relief. I'm not walking out of here limping, crying. I'm not in vigorous pain. I'm shaky, I can barely cross off my number, but there's hope. So I owe you my life. You've shown me that I can do this, and that injuries aren't going to end me. So, yeah.
So last week I weighed in at 248, and this week I weighed in at 241. So that's 7 pounds this week. I'm super stoked about that. I worked really hard. This week I felt really good. At the beginning of the week, I was having a bit of a rough time, and I started emotional eating, which is something that all of us struggle with. I need to just not let this one day snowball into a bad week, and just kind of just was at peace with that happened and moving forward now. And like the next day was a new day. Just started tracking my food again, and just I was so motivated because I knew that so many people were watching my journey, and I was like, I can't let them down. Just kind of picked back up and kept going, and obviously that worked because I was pretty successful this week. After the video was released, I was like super nervous and excited, but also just like I didn't really know how to feel. And I think like all four of us can say the same thing. We're really nervous for it to come out, but that went away really quick because a lot of people came up to me like at the gym that I didn't even really know that were like, I'm so proud of you, like you're so brave. And I was like, really? Because I was so nervous in the video. I was just like couldn't handle it. But having like complete strangers come up to you and they're just like, I'm so proud of you, like good for you, and like I can't wait to see your next video and everything. It was just really motivating. My one-on-one workout this week was with Miguel, and we did 30 minutes of hell and it was good. We just did 4 different exercises. He picked 2 and I picked 2, and we did them each for 1 minute each, and then had a 1 minute break at the end, and then did it 5 times over. So it was pretty intense. I felt like my legs were going to die, but it was really good. And it's just so different from doing a group class, because in a group class you can take a minute to gather yourself and breathe, but like not with Miguel, you can't do that. So you just keep going, and I was really proud of myself for getting through it. I think the biggest change for this week was just the mental shift in knowing how many people are invested in your success. Like it really changes things, because like it's one thing to let yourself down, but like you can't, it's different when you know how many people are like really rooting for you. So that was really motivating to have that change this week. The biggest lesson this week was just not letting one bad day make a bad week. Like it's really easy for that to happen, but like we all can't have our goals and be like, I'm going to be perfect until this happens, because it's not realistic. Like everyone is going to have bad days or stuff come up or take a trip or whatever it is like that makes you lose momentum. And it's so important to just be like, okay, that's in the past, I'm going to move forward. Like this doesn't mean that everything is ruined. It's just like, just get over that one day, restart, every day is new, and just keep going. And don't beat yourself up about it, because everyone is going to do it. When I get to my goal weight, I want to be able to do like a lot more things that I am like physically not really able to do very well right now. And I also don't want to fall into that thought pattern of like, I have to get there before I can do anything else, because I can. Like I do have a very able body. I'm strong. I can do stuff for sure. But I'd love to be able to go for runs, like be able to go hiking and not feel like dying when you get to the top. You know, like I want to be way more active because I love being outside. Like I just want to enjoy that a lot more and feel better. I know like what we're doing right now is pretty intense, and I think all of us have done a lot of things to get to this place where we're ready to start something like this. But in small ways you can always be improving yourself, like whether you start at 150 or 400 pounds, like you can always do something as long as you are taking care of yourself and listening to your body. And it doesn't matter where you start from, you can always do something as long as you're just like putting yourself first, taking care of your health, which is so important. Like I feel so much better already just because I'm putting myself first for once. I never do that. One of the things that I struggle with is core. I'm trying to work on it a lot because it's super important. So by the end of this program, I'm committing to be able to do at least a 1 minute plank, full plank, before we're done.